We walked from Arnhem to Oosterbeek. We're going to go and have a look at the museum, which was the last holdout point for the Arnhem Bridge escapade. We've walked pretty much the same route as what John Frost would have walked and his troop platoon. It's about 5k from the bridge, 6 kilometers from the bridge, something like that. We've walked a bit further than that because we've just walked from the other side of Arnhem, so we've probably done about 6 kilometers I think when we get there. I apologise, I've got that all wrong. It's 10 kilometers what we've walked all the way to the Oosterbeek, and then that'll be 10 kilometers back, so it's probably about 8.5 maybe from the John Frost Bridge. On the way to the museum, the Oosterbeek Museum, is this church Christine wants to have a look in. So, yeah. St Bernulphuskerk. St Bernulphuskerk. Don't know what that means. Usual things down the side, which are the crucifixion. Got a little organ pipes there. Oh, we'll look at the other one when we come back. They're different. And the pipes, very kind of modern. And then the crucifixion again down this side. Nice church. Floor's nicely decorated. We've made it all the way to the Airborne Museum. Well, I won't read that one. Read the story of it a few times already, so if you don't know it already, the field gun. Wow, look at that, how it's been shot to pieces, look. How that's took a hit on here.
Right.
That reminds me of that tank at I can't remember what it was. We visited the Battle of the Bulge,
Walking around it.
American Memorial.
Or going inside.
Inside, I think.
What, in the after?
Yeah. So,
That sculpture.
says, yeah, parachutist. And a memorial. So, John 15, greater love hath no man than his to lay down for his friends. That's an RAF logo on there. Yeah, I think these would have been placed the other day, wouldn't they?
Smell
On
fresh.
the other thing, so yeah. This is the building where they held up the last defence, shall we say, was here. So after the bridge and everything that went on there, this was the final thing before some of them withdrew. So it says, to the people of Gelderland, 50 years ago British and Polish airborne soldiers fought here against overwhelming odds to open the way into Germany and bring the war to an early end. Instead we brought death and destruction, for which you have for which you have never blamed us. This stone marks our admiration for your great courage, remembering especially the women who tended our wounded in the long winter that followed. Your families risked death by hiding allied soldiers and airmen, whilst members of the resistance helped many to safety. You took us then into your homes as fugitives and friends. We took you forever into our hearts. This strong bond will continue long after we are all gone. There you go, there's the Pegasus. That's nice, that. Yeah. We'll look at the tanks and that after. Yeah, go on then. So we're going in the Airborne Museum now. There's a few bits and pieces you can buy. We were looking for a jumper earlier to match the one that I got, but might get one in here, possibly. So link. So if they have these in my size, and no, they don't, which is a shame. Yeah, shame. We're heading into the museum. There's several floors. We're going into the villa now. So this is the starting with a cafe. So I suppose that's what it was originally. And then we're into here. Major John Waddy. I wonder if he was in charge of the whole operation. So it says, oh, this is about the villa itself. So which is Hartenstein. Whoa. can't mention them all, so. Look at his medals. AK. We won't go through them all, but I can't mention them all. Because I notice it's giving them names as opposed to rank.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, they are a lot more.
Wow. I mean, the list goes on. So if you go on next, I'll just quickly do these on this wall. Just not got a picture for him. This is a shame. Pardon?
It's only one of them, isn't it?
I think that's a Chaplin's thing, isn't it? This room exhibits decorations for people who were involved in the Battle of Arnhem. Each of them did something admirable during these days. They fought during the battle, they cared for the wounded, were part of the resistance, or contributed in some other way to fighting against German occupation. Here you can see the decorations and you can read their stories. So that would be on that thing there. So. So on the 15th of May 1940, after 5 days of combat, the Dutch armed forces surrendered. The German occupation of the Netherlands had begun. Oostbeek and Arnhem were spared the direct effects of war. Daily life changed. Suddenly German troops were on the streets. The population reacted in different ways. Some citizens resisted the occupation, others assisted the Germans where they could. The majority tried to continue to lead a normal life. What remained was like the idyllic life at the edge of the Belleau. In 1941 and 42, Villa Hartstein was used as a maternity clinic. 11 children were born there under the supervision of Dr. Gerrit Van Man. In 1942, the town council bought Hartstein and leased it to the Van Kofschotten family. They started a hotel in the villa, and the coach house became the fire brigade station.
Ja, is het mooi dat de brief daar toch weer wat je zegt. Wij de rest van niet. Hij zou nou terugkomen. Nee, ook in zon natuurlijk. Ja, dat zie je.
Following the route, so we're off upstairs now.
Vanmiddag zijn sterke afdelingen geallieerde luchtlandingstroepen van het eerste geallieerde luchtlandingsleger in Nederland neergelaten. In het kwartier van 5:15 tot 5 zal een mededeling van de geallieerde opperbevelhebber worden voorgelezen die gericht is tot het Nederlandse volk en zal worden uitgezonden op alle golflengten van de BBC, ook die van de film- en de volksprogramma's. Deze aankondiging zal nu door een Engelse omroeper worden herhaald.
Sorry that was all in silence, is you had to listen to it through your podcast. So the British nickname that the Flying Flea was dropped by parachute in a cage. Well, look at the bullet hole in the blood and the shirt still on. It's a commando's dagger, isn't it? Never surrender, fuck the Jerry. First airborne division. Germans killed or wounded. On the 20th September, the troops at the bridge over the Rhine had to lay down their arms from Sunday evening. They had managed to defend the northern end of the bridge. Now the German position had become too strong. Most of the houses had been set on fire. Ammunition was running out and wounded could no longer be cared for. 10 officers and sentinel soldiers had died. The rest of the troops, including the wounded John Frost, were taken prisoner. John Frost. Look at that, 10 of Benzodrine tablets. Benzodrine was a stimulant that was given to troops during the Second World War.
Wat zijn ze bij jullie?
Zo 9.
Wat 9?
29. Op dit. Op dit. Dit is wel heel erg. Kijk dit ook. Dat is wel erg.
Kom maar, gaan we weer verder lopen, liefjes. Oh, ze doen er nog een keer, kijk eens. Kijk aan, sorry.
There's a painting of it. This is where we are at the minute in this building. Wow. This is a proper collection of weapons. Wow. You could try that on, can't you? Can you not? Thought it was one you could try on. Heavy.
Dit is een autonomswaarde.
Ja, je hebt gelijk. Ik had niet goed...
Het is net als een man. En nu met kleren. Maar kijk maar op fiets. Kijk eens
Stop.
Kijk, nee, meegepakt.
Ja.
Maar dan kon ze stoppen in de stuitjes. En mama, zijn mijn fiets? Oh, hele goed kleren.
We zijn er keurig uit.
Kijk, je moet kijken hoe goed die boom dit is. Mama, nee! Kijk hoe goed die boom dit is.
Ja.
En mama, ze hebben ook gewoon een hakbel.
Oh ja.
Een zwaard. Hop. Kijk, dit is... Mama, dit was het speelgoed. Dit is het speelgoed van vroeger.
Oh.
Oh, kijk eens wat dat is, een zwaard. Oh. Kijk, dat is het. Wat is?
Dat ik hem daar.
Is dat? Is dat? Nee.
Kom, we gaan weer
De
verder.
levensluppel.
We hebben nog
De
even
nee, hou op. Je
Ik
hebt
ook
We
een
gaan weer
zat
verder. Hij wil even aan
dat
zijn oor.
nou.
We gaan ook aan het oor. Nou, we gaan weer verder.
Always radios, but ours didn't work.
We gaan niet zitten spelen.
Mooi.
Gaan we heen, dus?
Oh, dat dikker there, look.
We gaan hierheen. Dus daar zitten ze een film te kijken. Kom. We hadden afgesproken, dus jullie kinderen. Die zijn er altijd.
Got a motorbike there.
Ja, dat komt.
Yeah. Folding scooter was dropped by spot parachute thing. As Major General Browning wanted to give the airborne troops their own colour red gear to enhance their identity and make them easier to recognise. A colour finally chosen was maroon. The action of the airborne troops in North Africa, Italy, Normandy and elsewhere raised the reputation of the Red Berets. That's a proper array of daggers, isn't it? Well, it's a prop, must admit, it's a really, really good collection. Look at this, like a sled. Oh, it's the undercarriage. Okay, that there, look. There is the undercarriage for these gliders. There, look. Look at that. There's improvised cross which mark the field grave of Gunner Alexander Braysden, 1st Air Landing Light Regiment Royal Artillery. So that's his cross. So everybody British soldier had 3 identity tags. He wore 2 around his neck and 1 inside his gas mask. If he was killed, 1 tag was left on his body and he'll be sent to his unit. Wow, look at that. The surgical kit. Peace 2nd Parachute Battalion, probably taken by him from the police station in Arnhem. Wow. Says the Battle of Arnhem was a failure. The Allied forces did not succeed in capturing any bridge over the Rhine. Every aspect of the operation was much more complicated than expected. Nevertheless, Montgomery claimed that Operation Market Garden had been 90% successful. This was an extremely optimistic appreciation of the situation. For the German troops, the Battle of Arnhem was an important success. They had indeed been taken by surprise by the airborne landings, but they had succeeded in halting the Allied troops. The German success at Arnhem showed that in the late summer of 1944, the German army was certainly not yet beaten.
London's bomb-damaged buildings stands an unpretentious little workshop where that most famous of medals, the VC, is made. 45 years ago, a lad not...
I read what it says for it. It says, after the liberation of the Netherlands, the civilians who had evacuated from Arnhem and the surrounding area were able to return to their homes. Here they found many field graves along the roadsides, in the woods and even in their gardens. These graves had been dug by the Red Cross and also by the German troops. In contrast to the Americans who wanted to bury their dead in a central place, the British High Command decided to bury their war dead close to where they had fallen. On June the 5th, 1945, construction of the Arnhem Oosterbeek War Cemetery started. Before the remains of the dead could be moved to their last resting place, the Men of Graves Registration Unit 37 had to identify them in their field graves as best they could. After identification, they attached a stamped metal tag with the name of the soldier and a metal cross on the field grave. Things did not always go well. Sometimes it was no longer possible to identify the body in the grave. Sometimes an administrative mistake was made. In those days, DNA matching was not possible. The Arnhem Oosterbeek War Cemetery is managed by the British Commonwealth War Graves, so that's what they put there.
Nou, in één kunt u zo met een even ja, ik doe het eens.
Inside, I think.
Fact. Same far. This way? Okay. So, the recovery and identification at the Royal Netherlands Army has been responsible for recovering the identification of victims of Second World War on Dutch soil for 80 years using first investigative techniques. It's been committed to giving unknown victims a name and an honourable reburial. In doing so, they also provide closure for their families. To date, some 4,500 civilians and soldiers are still missing in the Netherlands. In this exhibition, we'll learn about the work. There's a griddle. Now let's go around this way and let's have a look. That must have been frustrating. Where the radio's not working. Just see what that was. So this is about these then. So I think it starts from here and works the other way. In 1952, the DIB was replaced by the Granistick Conjunct. This unit continued to perform the duties of the DIB, but was also responsible for the recovery, identification and burial of military personnel during armed conflicts. In 1995, the unit was renamed to Recover and Identification Unit, Royal Netherlands Army. Under this name, the unit continues to be responsible for the recovery and identification of missing persons from the Second World War. Since the formation of the unit in 1945, 40,000 war victims have been recovered, identified and reinterred. They're measuring bones out. Remains of a war victim at the Central Identity Centre, and that's in 1947. 35 unknown British soldiers. Image of a grave, 35 unknown British soldiers buried in Park Heitenstein in Oostbeek, 1945. So that's here. It says, the RIU frequently works in the Arnhem and Oostbeek area. The Battle of Arnhem took place in September 1944, resulting in many casualties. Because of the heavy fighting, it was also not always possible to bury the dead or to keep accurate records of who was buried where. After the battle, the people of Arnhem and Oostbeek were forced to evacuate. There was hardly anyone left to tend to the dead. As a result, a large number of soldiers went missing. After the war, the Arnhem Oostbeek War Cemetery, commonly known as the Airborne Cemetery, was established in Oostbeek. Allied soldiers whom had died during the Battle of Arnhem were reburied in this cemetery. Unfortunately, it was not possible to identify all of them. The cemetery contains 1,700 graves, of which over 200 bear the inscription, "Known unto God." So that's what it looks like. We'll be going and having a look later. Things are used to help identify. I'm working today. Yeah.
Hier zie je.
Deze zijn die van boven zijn gekomen. Die zijn boven gegaan.
Let's do this one first. Okay, some of the things that's recovered: helmets, boots. Great. The boots found in the field with hobnail soles, the nails offered more grip on soft ground. They were generally not worn by glider pilots because of the risk of sliding off the aircraft. Glider pilots to bring an extra pair of hobnail boots and change into them after landing. Wow. Using DNA now. So I guess for DNA you look at the families and then track it through back to what DNA you can find.
Dit is het mij, zo voel ik dat. Zonder daar heel zweverig over te willen doen, maar zo is het mij.
Pardon? Well, it's a Dutch and it's on that. There. Oh, yeah, 1995, a cable trench was being dug in the Vandermolen in Oosterbeek. Cyclists noticed a boot sticking out of the earth when it turned out that human remains had also been dug up. Work was halted and the IUI was summoned to recover the remains. Several teaspoons were found in the field grave, probably taken by a soldier from a house in Oosterbeek. Teaspoon Man owes his nickname to these spoons. A number of other items were also found that seemed to offer strong leads in the investigation into the identification of the person. Wow. The field grave of Teaspoon Man was found on the Vandermolen in Oosterbeek in the area as well. The high ground Oosterbeek dominates the surrounding landscape. British and German troops fought fiercely for control of the hill. The Westerbork was defended by B Company, 1st Battalion, the Border Regiment. Because of the location of his grave, it was initially thought that Teaspoon Man belonged to this unit. The identical charts and medical records of all missing members of 1st Battalion, the Border Regiment, were compared to the profile of Teaspoon. However, no match was found. While recovering the grave, Teaspoon Man, his smockberry and small pack were found, as well as a number of buckles. By counting the buckles, it was possible to reconstruct the equipment he was carrying. Interestingly, Teaspoon Man only carried very minimal equipment. This information, together with the fact that his remains were found near the Westerbork, but he did not belong to the British unit that had fought there, make it possible that he was killed during the British evacuation on the night of September the 25th. So it says the teeth have been examined, and I don't think that's necessarily with to deal with an awful lot of constraints in there. No. Teaspoon Man.
What's this called?
Yeah, the case of Teaspoon Man provided a lot of leads, but as the investigation progressed, these all went cold. To date, the case of Teaspoon Man is one of the few unsolved cases. So he's in that, we wouldn't know where. The things, the wallet and the social phone was decorated with a simple vibration of the ranking signature of urban man's gold ring found in a grave. So it kind of gives you some idea of how they found people or worked out who was who. Oh, what's that saying? It says there is no point in conducting DNA research with regard to unknown German casualties, as we have no relatives to compare their DNA to. If necessary, we can store some biological samples to establish DNA profile at a later date. Wow. So your chances of you getting your grade sorted and being a German's pretty slim then. So he was buried in 2015. John Kennell, born in London, 1925, as a second child of John and Jeanette Kennell. He liked sports, played football and cricket. Before entering military service, John worked in a factory for tobacco pipes. In 1943, he joined the General Service Corps, and after training was posted to 203rd Division Composite Company Royal Army Service Corps. However, John was looking for more adventure and volunteered for the British Airborne Forces. He completed his paratroop training and was assigned to 250 Light Composite Company as a driver. On the 18th September 1944, John landed on Geekle Heath, where he was killed while trying to reach the rendezvous point of his unit. To determine someone's height, you need to do some calculating, measure the correct bone, and use the formula how tall would this person have been. Oh, so that's what you do. So you do the length of the bone in centimetres, times it by 2,330. I don't understand what that is. Is it 2.38 plus 61.41 divided by the length? Oh, equals the length of the person. The calculator there if you want to work it out. It's quite good for the kids, I suppose. That keeps them interested. Nice. Fragments of a life jacket. It's been really good. Very interesting. Okay, we're entering what's called the airborne experience. Not sure if it's going to be Dutch or English or what. It says, welcome to the airborne experience. You're about to be dropped into enemy territory. The biggest airborne assault in history has just begun. Operation Market Garden. Hundreds of parachutists are about to land and begin advancing towards Arnhem. They hope to quickly secure the bridge over the Rhine in Arnhem. Finally, one last tip. Look out for one another and Godspeed. Which is this way.
We're going to fly off soon, so chaps, get on board the glider and hang on. It's going to be a hell of a flight to make a drop into enemy territory, so please step back and let me open the doors for you. Remember, only a group of 10 can fly with me now. All others, please wait for the next plane. Okay, now let's go and put an end to this bloody war. Let me open the door for you. Please step back. The door opens towards you. Okay, sit down, lads. Come on, troops, sit down. Hurry up.
about time to get rid of them Germans.
So we're now part of the largest air landing operation ever. Off to Arnhem. Let's hope we'll reach the bridge soon. Hold tight, chaps. Come on, Ben. Please don't puke over my trousers, will ya? Sometimes, chaps. Look at those sweet Dutch bells. Got up from Harry to release the tail rope. Thank you. Releasing now. Brace yourself for landing. Go, 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 go! Hurry up, you lazy fool! Go, go, go!
Go, go, go. We've got to move on.
That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So Battle of Arnhem, prisoners of war. German soldiers 200. Those which are civilians, that's killed. Wow. No way. Look at this. Prisoners of war, allies. I don't know if you can see this line. This line just runs right the way along this wall. All the way up to here. 6,500 allies were taken prisoner of war here at Arnhem. Wow. So the Battle of Arnhem ending in failure. The objective capturing and securing the bridge over the Rhine was not achieved. The ground troops from the south never arrived. The Allied advance kept to a halt. A large part of the Netherlands ended up facing a long hunger winter. It would be another 9 months before the war was over. That was brilliant.
Pilot speaking here. We're going to fly off soon. So chaps, get on board the glider and hang on. It's going to be a hell of a flight to make a drop into enemy territory. So please step back and let me open the door for you. Remember, only a group of 10 can fly with me now. All others, please wait for the next plane. Okay, now let's go and put an end to this bloody war. Let me open the door for you. Please step back. The door opens towards you.
Okay, sit down, lads. Come on, troops, sit down. Hurry up. It's about time to get rid of them Germans. brace yourself for landing. Go, 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 go! Hurry up, you lady. Go, go, go!
Go, go, go. We've got to move on.
Okay, I'll read you some of the casualties on the way. Prisoners of war, there were 200 Germans. Those killed, 450 civilians. Missing 130 allies. But if you go down here, 1,900 allies dead, 1,800 Germans dead. If you follow along,
met een conferent gekrabbeld. Ik keek ook buiten en zag dat de dag verdwenen was.
Shenzhen, 6,500 allies captured prisoners of war. So the Battle of Arnhem ended in failure. The objective of capturing and securing the bridge over the Rhine was not achieved. The ground troops in the south never arrived. The Allied advance came to a halt. A large part of the Netherlands ended up facing a long hunger winter. It would be another 9 months before the war was over. That was brilliant, that. Brilliant. There's the another field gun here to climb at your own risk. And I think that's a Sherman. I think. Yeah, I think I'm probably wrong, I don't know my tanks, but when you're looking at war films, it looks like a Sherman. Wow. Okay. That was excellent. Really, really good. We're in the gardens around the villa there, which was the last stand for Market Garden, and there's these. Christine's already over there. I'm surprised they're still there and not run off, to be fair. But, yeah. Look at them. Yeah. Look at them. Hello, fella. He's obviously the boss. He's in charge. And these will be his females. This will be his, I don't know what you call it, flock, herd. Sounds like it's got hiccups.
Oh dear.
There's a load over there as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them. Some right over in the back, in the distance. Yeah, very nice. He's magnificent, he is, with the antlers. Which are parachutists, paratroopers. It's quite good, that, actually, in a strange, so I suppose what we call in a modern sense. There's a couple more things to do. There's a memorial across the road and a cenotaph. We'll do those. Then we're going to go to the Oostbritten War Memorial cemetery, being as we have an obsession for doing the cemeteries, and take it from there. It's been really good.
It has been good, hasn't it?
Really good. So it says 65th E Airborne, Warden Top, 3rd of September 2011. That's what that is. That's a very cool memorial. Very cool. We'll go and have a look at this cenotaph. they've made a big thing of it because it's what, 76 years, is it? 78 years? 78, something like that, I don't know. But let's have a look at this. Been really good. I think we came at the right time of year. It's a shame we missed Saturday's performances at the bridge. I think that would have been pretty spectacular, but still, yeah. What a fabulous memorial. The Pegasus, the soldiers, depicting the fighting. I suppose the best way of depicting the sacrifice. I suppose it's soldiers and civilians, really. I think you kind of forget that they were part of the struggle. There we are, with civilians as well. And there's the villa, Oosterbeek. Anyway, we've walked to the outskirts of Oosterbeek and to the cemetery. This is where all the bodies and graves and everything were put here after the war. I mean, you have to remember that when the Germans got Arnhem back, well, not back, but once they'd expelled the Allies, they told the people, 150,000 of them, that they got to leave. So I guess it made it quite difficult to figure out, some of them, who was who. Anyway, we're here now, so we'll take a little bit of a look. It would be nice if we could find the one for the person that says teaspoons, but still. It's funny, isn't it? You expect them all to have like the paratroopers emblem on there, and there isn't. There's like, what's this, Yorkshire Regiment? Is Yorkshire Regiment. Devonshire Regiment. Yeah, strange that, with them having their own cap badge and everything. Not saying there aren't any, but there's a few. Some people have been recently and placed these. Royal Signals, Soldier of the War, and there was obviously, I think a few days ago, a big ceremony. Down. Yeah. There's one here. Who's that one? Lieutenant John Hollington Greyburn. John and his men held a forward position near the north end of Arnhem Bridge for 3 nights and 2 days, twice wounded. John continued to lead his men until he was killed for courage and devotion to duty. He was awarded the Victoria Cross. So there you go, there's a Victoria Cross recipient. J.H. Greyburn, VC. There's a Jewish grey, that's from a New Zealander, look. Pilot. Navigator. It's always fantastic how they're well kept, the cemeteries. Always beautifully kept. But all these ones have got sunflowers, the ones at this end, and then not so many further on. I think there's another one down here. I'll have a look and see what that says. It says Lance Corporal William Leonard Wilkins. William was a Bren gunner. He carried his machine gun the 60 miles from Belgium towards Arnhem, part of the land force fighting until linked up with the airborne force. He spent the night the 22nd of September under Nijmegen Bridge, writing to his wife Ivy about the cheering Dutch people he met. It says William was killed in action in Elst, just 6 miles south of Arnhem. He was reburied here in September 1945. Ivy wrote the inscription of his headstone. Hi. This one, which is driver Robert Claude Bondy. Robert was the son of Charles and Florence Bondy and the husband of Ivy. During the Second World War he enlisted in the army and then volunteered to join the airborne forces. A jeep driver tasked with keeping supplies flowing, Robert would arrive by glider rather than parachute. Unfortunately, Robert's glider was one of only a few which did not land safely. He was buried by his comrades near the crash site in July 1946. He was brought here. So they don't carry the emblem of the airborne, which I didn't know. So I know they said so a lot of them were all volunteers that volunteered to do that. Oh, excuse me. Does make me cry when I read these, I'm afraid. Now then, this one is from the parachute regiment, so this must have been the regiment itself. You can't actually read that, what it says for there. I think it's his story. I would have loved to have read it, but I would have had to disturb the grave to pick it up to read it, and I just couldn't do that. I don't know why I put myself through this, coming and looking at and reading some of these. Oh dear. There's another one. No. Oh yeah, that's got, yeah. Before being, what was it, Sergeant Harold Wilson Smith. Before being called up to join the army in 1948, Howard lived in Stockport, UK, and worked as a printer. He and his sister were keen cyclists. He was sent to occupy Iceland, but felt this wasn't doing enough and applied for glider pilot training. On September the 18th, he co-piloted a glider from RAF Bradwell to a landing zone near Wolf Hayes. Having delivered his cargo of soldiers, he joined the fight himself, dying 4 days later in Oosterbeek. His inscription quotes the poet Wordsworth. It says, "We must be free or die who speak the tongue, or shake," I can't read that, or Shakespeare's speak. Of Shakespeare's speak. So, difficult to read. I just can't bend down that far. Right, let's have a look at these. Now these graves are different. They're a different shape. So I'm assuming these are possibly Polish. Yeah. So here's some of the poles. They don't give them a regiment or anything like that, I don't think. Oh, it does. Spad Company Zayop, 3rd Bayon Spad. Theirs run all the way along. We'll get to, sorry fellas, this one. It says, born in Chichau, Poland, Lieutenant Sliecki was one of the first Polish paratroopers to arrive at Arnhem. He joined the Polish military in 1930, fought to defend Poland from German invasion in 1939. He escaped via Hungary, Italy and France, then volunteered the new Polish paratrooper force. On the 21st of September, he and the Polish 1st Independent Parachute Brigade arrived near Arnhem. He was killed at dawn the next day when a German shell hit a group discussing their next move. Wow. So we're at the official entry to the cemetery. Now I would expect there to be a book somewhere. Now there usually is for the war graves, and it usually gives you a list as well. But cemetery register. Let's have a look. No, that's just where they all are. There's nothing to write about where you've been. I wonder if there's one on the opposite side. We'll have a look on the other side. No, just telling the story. Shame. So there's the books telling you where all the graves are, but not then. So Richard Burt Bond, Richard known as Dick, and his younger brother Sharm both served in the RAF. Stan, a navigator, was killed in 1943. Dick, a flight engineer, and his crew flew top-secret low-level missions to occupied France and towed a glider to Pegasus Bridge on D-Day. Dick's aircraft towed a glider to Arnhem and then began flying supply drops. On the 23rd of September, desperate to supply surrounded soldiers, they flew lower, more vulnerable to anti-aircraft fire. They were hit and crashed. Dick left a wife and baby girl.
Yeah, twins.
No, why are they? What, both of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Christine says there's twins over here somewhere. Where? Oh, here. So these are twins. Thomas and Claude Gronett. Thomas and Claude Gronett were twin brothers from Cornwall, UK. As tin miners, they were essential workers and not liable to call up. But they volunteered to join the parachute regiment in 1943, serving in North Africa and Italy. After landing safely near Oosterbeek, their battalion began their advance to the bridge at Arnhem until they encountered German troops. Thomas was hit, and as Claude ran to his aid, he too was mortally wounded. Aged 21, they died side by side. Their remains well, it says they remain side by side forever. I think that might be a Jewish one with the stones on top, because that's quite an important thing that they do, yeah. Yeah. Sad. I honestly don't know why it makes me cry when I do these. I really don't know. So some are actual paratroopers then, or from the parachute regiment, and I suppose they made up, along with the others, what was the airborne then. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Oh, some more Polish ones mixed in there. What's that doing there?
I have no idea. What is it?
Yeah. I've come across this one which says Second Lieutenant RDEC Peel Parachute Regiment Army Air Corps, and the reason why I picked this one out is because all of these are laid at his grave, which 10th Battalion, I can't even read that, as daft as it sounds. How cool is that? Yeah. Yeah, I must admit. I think that's about it, to be quite honest. We've had to do Arnhem in 2 parts. I was trying to put it together as one, but it's took us nearly a full day just to do this Oosterbeek thing, so which has been really, really good. The problem I have is I have trouble reading the things because, well, just make me cry. Don't know why, it just does.
And this is some right weird car parking. It's on hills. I don't kind of get the thinking behind it, but really strange. And look how pretty that is. kind of makes you feel dizzy looking at it. I don't get thinking of all the hills. I don't know if you can see how hilly it is on there. It doesn't really look that hilly on the video, but it is. Very hilly.
We've just had a shower and we thought we'd show you the sunset over Arnhem. Look at that, hey? Isn't that fantastic? That sunset over Arnhem. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.